This is my second video blog in which I will attempt to identify the factors that I feel contribute to my professional identity. Firstly, the purpose of this vlog makes me ask myself a number of questions. What is the ultimate goal of the early years sector? What makes me unique as a practitioner? What factors contribute to professional identity? And how would I describe and define my professional identity? These are all good questions that must be asked when considering the issue. The questions make me reflect on a number of levels and make me think about my teaching style, my attributes, and my perception of my profession and what makes me professional. Also, these questions make me reflect on the perception of the early years as a whole, considering that the focus is now on the sector, especially following studies such as the EPPE project and the Nutt-Brown report, which has been instrumental in the government policy over the last decade. What is the ultimate goal of the early years sector? Firstly, I believe that the ultimate goal of the early years sector is to provide a safe, secure and loving environment which provides children the best start in life with the opportunity to learn and develop. It is our responsibility to ensure that the practitioners who work in the early years are capable and competent in delivering on this goal. What makes me unique as a practitioner? Now, considering what makes me unique as a practitioner, from a personal perspective, I suppose I'm unique as a practitioner because of who I am. My personality, my life experiences, my expectations and my outlook on life. Lightfoot and Frost concur with this understanding as they suggest that the notion of professional identity cannot be separated from that of a personal identity. Essentially, I understand Lightfoot and Frost to mean that my professional identity will be a reflection and bound by my personal identity. Considering this context and this statement, professional identity is not simply a matter of adopting a persona for a role in a workplace, but a reflection and a mirror of my personality and characteristics into an early years working environment. What factors contribute to a person's professional identity? It is important to understand that a person's professional identity is not the same as it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or even 1 year ago. Many factors such as life experiences, people who influence our lives, both personally and professionally, education, confidence, good experiences, bad experiences, all result in development and change to a practitioner's identity. I consider the early years sector as one of the most important for society and for all children. I also feel that the sector has in the past at some extent still fails to get the recognition that it deserves. Also, I disagree and challenge the historical reputation of the early years, whereby people consider that the industry provides a job to any woman and that women are the best suited to the industry. The findings of Silver and Melush evidence that qualified, skilled and competent practitioners providing quality care make an invaluable difference to the life chances of children. Therefore, what characteristics are required to be skilled and competent practitioners? In my previous blog, I provided a list of attributes such as communicate and build relationships with children, parents and guardians, peers and agencies, their educational qualifications, their participation in and communicate to continued professional development, share knowledge with peers and educating all around them, the way in which they conduct themselves in and outside the workplace, leadership skills, and the emotional and caring skills. The factors that I view as being characteristics of good practitioners cross over somewhat with Brooks's 7 dimensions of professionalism, which are knowledge, education and training, skills, autonomy, values, ethics, and rewards. Of the attributes listed, I feel that when people gain qualifications, it not only enhances their ability and skill set, it also makes them have a sense of professional identity. This is supported by the findings of Lloyd and Hallett. How would I describe and define my professional identity? When I reflect on my journey, I feel that I've always engaged in and been keen to continue progressing my development. The qualifications I have achieved to date certainly make me feel professional. Moreover, the understanding of the vital role early years provide to children also make me value my job and provides a sense of professionalism. In addition, due to the structure of my setting and my vast experience, I feel my professional identity has developed and evolved significantly over the last 10 months, and I have been challenged to take on a role which would be fair to say made me step out of my comfort zone. Having become a class leader, I'm responsible for a team of 4 class assistants, whilst also being seen as a mentor figure for other class leaders less experienced than myself. I have had to develop a new set of skills and take on a role I was apprehensive about previously. In taking on this responsibility, it would be fair to say that there was not any structured training put in place. Therefore, I had to settle into a new role whilst also building new relationships and be seen as a leader to a significant number of peers. However, the Early Childhood Studies course has allowed me to research and critically analyse leadership models, and I feel that I have excelled in my new role. It was important for me to understand the difference between leadership and management, and I concur with the interpretation of Solly, who suggested that management involves maintenance and oversight of an organisation, whereas leadership is more to do with enhancement, improvement and development. However, having undertaken the Early Years Studies course, I feel I have the opportunity to learn and research leadership skills and modules, such as the Innovation and Change module, whereby I was able to reflect on how I implemented change within my setting, guiding and supported many members of staff, which again made me feel professional as I was having a positive impact on a large number of peers. Reflecting on my development over the past 10 months, I am proud of how I've handled this change. Considering the care element of the role, one approach I've always taken has been to ask myself, how would I want my children to be cared for when in an early years environment? I have taken this approach since the start of my career in 2004, despite not having my first child until recently in 2018. I'm happy to say that after becoming a mother for the first time and then re-entering the world of work, my approach to the care has been reinforced. When considering the pedagogy element of the role, I'm a firm believer in the theory of play-based questioning and conversational learning. I believe that enabling the children the opportunities to these methods of learning, they will feel secure in their environment, enriching their development to the max. When I consider myself the most professional is when talking to parents and carers about their child, when they are asking advice for the next steps, behaviour management, toilet training or school readiness. They are looking for support and guidance from a professional, and this is the time when it is most relevant. Also, when working with interfacing agencies, as they want your professional opinion regarding children's milestones, development and behaviour. In conclusion, I would suggest that the barriers to feeling professional in early years is a lack of recognition from the wider public about our roles. Also due to the disparity in pay for the early years teachers compared to those in primary schools. This could also be a factor that makes people feel less professional. I believe more needs to be done to upskill the existing workforce, which may in turn result in practitioners feeling more professional. Nevertheless, I myself feel my role is professional, and that through my studies and leadership responsibilities that this position is valid.